Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of Bravely Default. So in today's episode, we take on the Everlast Tower on our way to purify the Earth Crystal. Let's get moving.
To think this was once the Temple of Earth. Look what has become of it.
I've never set foot here either, yet the change is clear.
Well, at least it seems the Eternian forces dare not deploy troops here.
Yet I sense a foul presence.
Monsters, no doubt.
They may be after the Earth Crystal. Let's hurry!
Alright, looks like we have a dungeon on our hands. Time to explore this awesome dungeon, this awesome atmosphere, and these awesome stairs. I mean, look at the stairs! Look how they plateau and incline and decline and chests. Explosion, very nice, alright. So from what I come to understand, there are some fairly bulky monsters kind of hanging around in here. And I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen any yet. I'm gonna quickly check to see that my encounter rate's back up, because I did do some grinding in between the episodes. No, I did not, that's why. Okay. I was wondering why there were no monsters. But on that note, I did some grinding with Agnès just to get one of the abilities from the White Mage class onto her. We now have access to something called Epic Group Cast. So the damage dealt and the amount of recovery does not decline when group casting magic. And I want to combine this using that with the Arcanist job that we received from Victoria earlier on, but since she's very close to leveling up to level 10 with Ninja, we'll do that first and then we'll flip her over to Arcanist and we'll go from there. Since Arcanist seems to be very heavily based on magic, so anything we can do to kind of boost up our attack rate is going to be very helpful. Okay, this is the one I've heard was very tanky. I believe this is the right one. Male Dragon, yep, that's the one. So let's see, Tiz, we are going to do some examination with you. And Agnès, everyone else can just default for now. Oh wow, this thing defaults? Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see. Ringabel, let's see how much damage you can do to it. Because the hunting plus sword magic combination has always worked pretty well. But if this thing's defaulting, then I might need to change my strategy a little bit. So let's go for Dragon Slaying, Dragon Slaying, Dragon Slaying. And Adia, I want you to get full cover of the Ringabel while he's doing that. Wow, even with a defended attack, I still did 1,000. And each of those hits is going to do about 7,000? No, that's 7,000. I wish it did 7,000. So that's not going to be enough. Granted, I wasn't attacking with Agnès either, so that would be fine. So then, Tiz, I'm going to have you default. Agnès, I'm going to have you go all out and use some Qigong waves in case he chooses to default. And full cover to Agnès, I guess. Each Qigong wave should do about at least 1,000. I was hoping it would do 1,000. It's doing 24. Okay. Maybe not. We could be doing a lot better. In that case, I'm going to use my scum strats. So I did think that, okay, maybe there is a possibility that we could get horribly screwed here. So I'm going to use the strats I use for grinding, which means I'm going to be using compounding to combine, I think it's the Foaming Shards as we to electricity. And we're basically just going to keep using these over and over and over again, just to do massive amounts of damage. Okay, duly noted. Physical attacks do not do any damage. How can I get around that? I can very easily... Let's use some high potions. I can very easily, I do need Agnès to have magic then. She's very close to getting the level 10 ninja. I will just have to come back to it later. So let's see how much damage the Arcanist can do instead. And we will equip Wizard Rod. How else can I get up her magic attack? Hammer Mace will not increase the magic. So I guess I'll do a Rod of Ice then. And I should also put... I'll get rid of these immunities because I don't think we're going to need them. I will put Pierce Default from the Valkyrie class onto Ringabel in case it decides to default. So Valkyrie is this one, we want Pierce Default. And as for Agnes' secondary ability, that means we're going to have to use Black Magic. Think we're good. Speed would be helpful. So would anything that would increase our magic attacks. So let's try magic attack up. Plus we'll take speed up from the Thief class. And we'll go from there. In the worst case scenario, I will have to just use my my grinding strats in order to make it through this dungeon. They're fairly helpful. I can actually just put the whole thing on auto and not have to worry about anything, which is probably how I would do this normally. This is kind of scary. Okay, well, Tiz, let's go for an examination on the gastric worm, I guess. Everyone else can just default. Ow. Ow. Okay, 13,000. Weak to water, so Ringabel can take him down, no problem. Let's do another examination on the Earth Lantern. Agnes, I'll have you default. Ringabel will have you take care of the giant worm, so we'll go for a blizzard onto the bow and arrow. We'll go for hunting, and we'll go for some bug slaying. And for good measure, I will have Adia give full cover to both Ringabel and to Tiz. Or gastric juices could hit everybody and make it not matter. Bug slaying's... okay, 3 bug slayers should take this guy out. So that's good to know. 1 earth-based skill will kill Ringabel in 1 shot. Duly noted. Okay, this thing's Earth. What is Earth weak against? I don't know. Let's try a fire. And let's give full cover. Nice counter. Fire attack's gonna do about 600. Damage output is a little bit lacking. Let's put corpse on this thing and let's see if we can just kind of hang out in the meantime. And it missed! Even better! Well, we'll heal with Agnes then. Get her HP back up. And let's try the corpse again, see if that works. Adia, let's go for a regular attack then. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. And it missed again. Even that's great. I think that's our cue to leave then. Like I said, this is our cue to leave. This is our cue to leave. This is our cue to heal. This is our cue to die. Okay. After due consideration, I also realized that I don't quite have enough time to grind today. So I think I'm just going to rely on my grinding strats to get us through this dungeon. So what this basically entails is that I have medication on every single person, and we're going to be using compounding to combine 2 items to create a special effect, as well as attack item up, speed, and damage dispersion just to make sure that we don't die. And basically the idea is that we just kind of combine 2 items together, we get an attack item that's really strong, and this way we can just pierce all of the defense that the monsters have. So I've already grabbed this before. There wasn't anything overly interesting on the left-hand side, so we'll try the other side this time. And hopefully we can find something neat. Maybe some items are a shield, or I don't know, teleport stone. Which is weird, because there's a chest over there, but whatever. The teleport stone will always bring you straight to the exit, but never brings you anywhere else. So why is it that it can only bring you to the exit and no other place? Like, why can I not use the teleport stone to go all the way back to town? Why can't I use it to go back to a specific town I've already visited, like the Fly HM in Pokemon? Why can't I use it to teleport myself into places that I shouldn't be in? Why can't I glitch myself into a wall with it? I do not know. I'm also realizing I didn't flip the encounter rate back down. I'm sorry. God. I forgot to flip it back over after I died. And the monsters know. They're waiting for me. They're just like, hey. You're being a scumbag. You're being a scumbag and we're waiting for you. Alright, here's how this is supposed to work. We brave 4 times, we use medication, we use compounding, and we combine 2 Fulmin shards together to get the power of lightning. This will give us 4 Pandora's Wraths, and we're going to repeat this for every single person. This way it doesn't... All we're just kind of waiting for is for somebody to go first. I don't care who it is, because whoever it is will always just completely wipe out everything on the field. Now, on the one hand, I feel kind of bad that I'm using these kind of strats. At the same time, it's also the most efficient strat you could possibly have. Because otherwise, you have to rely on your level in order to get yourself extra speed or extra attack strength. Although I guess I really could also just put a really strong build onto everybody as well. I mean, I could put the combination of Hunter plus sword magic onto everybody, and then that would be enough to wipe out everything on the field. Because Ringabel was doing about, what, 3,000 to 4,000 damage for each hit, using Dragon Slaying plus Thundaga, equipped to the bow and arrow. So that would also work, but that would require a lot of JP grinding. Okay, you're new. But they're called Earth Lanterns, so they're probably weak to wind. Are they immune to thunder? I don't know. I feel like I should test this. Because that's all I really need, is to completely use nothing but Pandora's Wraths, and then just get completely butt-fucked. So we'll try it out with Adia. Because we should be able to survive 1 round of this. Just barely. Why is there so much earth? Okay, they're not immune. That's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I don't... I was gonna say I don't think they're gonna die in this one turn, but that's fine. Alright, and we got Kairai from the ninja class. So the target of the enemy's single target attack will be the ally you select, but only for the turn in which the ability is used. I think I can use this later on. I have a plan that maybe uses this. I don't know. I will have to test it out. But we're basically done for the ninja class. There's not really anything else in here that I really want or need. So we're going to use this opportunity to flip Agnès over to Arcanist, I believe it's called. And we'll start working on that. So we will change our equipment over to a Wizard's Rod and a Shield. And we will get Ringabel back to life. And we should be good to go. Still cannot open the blue chest. Can I just bomb it with magic? Can I just do what the Sage did? Just blow it up? I mean, I'm sure I would accidentally blow up the thing that's inside it. But, you know, if it's an item, it should be able to survive a single blast to the face, right? Right? This supposed to be like a maze or something? I think it is. So that will bring me back downstairs. So I need to be climbing upwards. Okay, we got this. So So we'll reset all this up so that we can just put this on auto for a little while. And then we should be good to go for this dungeon. As long as I don't run out of Fulman shards. And even if I do, I still have all the other items that are used for the item compounding. So I could create the equivalent of the fire version, I could use the water version, the light version, the wind version very easily. So I don't think we're in any particular danger right now, unless our enemy gets the first strike, in which case we could end up dying potentially. But well, I guess we'll be putting this theory to the test. Nope, we're fine. We're less fine. But I think as long as somebody stays alive, we can take them out, except for the worm. I didn't think about the worm. So I need 2 people to stay alive then. Okay, duly noted. This is honestly a lot more effective just outside of Eternia City, simply because everything out there is completely weak against fire. So all I have to do is just use the fire version of the attack, and I can just sit there and grind JP like all day. Just put it on auto, walk around, perfectly fine. Okay, do I want left or right? You know what, since I'm so terrible at making decisions, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I stopped by one of my local shops the other day and I picked up a couple of 1d20s. So here's what I'm gonna do. Odd, I go left. Right? Let me repeat that. If I roll an odd number, I go left. If I roll an even number, I go right. Odd number, I'm going left. I've been wanting to use these dice somehow in my Let's Plays. I don't know how I'm gonna use them yet. But I guess ever since, I've been watching Pro Jared's Nuzlocking. Since I've been watching Pro Jared's Nuzlocke, I've been completely consumed by the idea of randomizing my stuff by the roll of a dice. Don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I want to implement it somehow. Speaking of Nuzlocks, there's a Nuzlocke I've been meaning to run for a very long time, and I just haven't had the chance to do it. So that is on my to-do list for this week, is to at least start it. So I know once I get started on something, it's a lot easier to keep on doing it. You're a scary Minotaur. Okay, I'm gonna reset this properly so that everyone is using the compounding this time, because I believe one person is defaulting. Which could be my end, if I'm not careful. Well, maybe careful is not the right word. If I'm not lucky, would be the correct terminology, because this is all RNG. Everything in here is just RNG based. How am I doing on my Fulman shards? We're getting a little bit low. I might have to switch weapons soon. So I'm assuming what's this called? A Daedalus? What's a Daedalus? Future me, go look that up and go put it in the video somehow. So I'm using about 10 of these shards every single... Not 10, I think I'm using... Yeah, 10. I'm using 10... 4... 2... 6... I can't add. I'm using about 12 shards every single battle. So I am going to have to switch over to the other elemental fairly soon. We'll check that on the next battle. Just to be sure. Okay, how are we doing for items? Fulman shard is down to... $43. Okay, we're fine. In fact, I can just put this on fast forward for a little while and we're perfectly fine. Like, this is how easy it is just to grind. Like, that's how easy it is. And if I want more shards, I can just easily pick them up from the save man. Now, granted, you know, like, that's why I don't like using these kinds of strats for the in-game stuff, simply because the only reason I'm able to use this advantage is because I have Norende leveled up the way I do. It's not hard to get it, because I believe the shop sells them once you level up the compounding shop at level 5 or so. So it's not hard to get it at all. It's very easy and it's very practical. But it's just like, oh, you're using the stuff that takes time to build up. You're not using actual in-game strats. I mean, like, it's perfectly legit. But at the same time, I don't feel completely good about it either. It's weird. Put that on auto, we're perfectly fine. And it's interesting how this pops up, not just in a game like this, but in other games too. I've been watching Bananasaurus Rex do 80% speedruns of Dark Souls 2. And because he streams on Twitch full time, he often ends up being on the front page for Dark Souls when he's streaming. Plus also, you know, taking into consideration that the time that he streams at is fairly late. So I guess he would be one of the few popular people that are streaming at around that time. I don't really know what the actual logistics of Twitch is. But the amount of people the people that you get inside the Twitch chat, I'm just going to check our items really quick, just to make sure that we don't get screwed over. Full and sharp, we're down to 11. We need 4 hits, we need 4 attacks in order to get that in, so we're fine for this one, but we have to flip over our item pretty soon. Uh-oh. What's happening? Why am I not using items? Why am I attacking regularly? 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, okay. The way the auto has it set up is that it will just distribute them evenly if you're down to the last couple. I did not know this. Go figure. I've never had that problem rise up at all. Okay, so we're going to heal up real quick. Make sure everyone's okay and alive, which is going to be very helpful. But for the next battle, we have to change our item over to something else. So let's see, we do have to deal with an earth crystal. Not an earth crystal, the earth-based element, so we can't use anything that's earth-based. And I don't know what these guys... I don't know what the weakness of these guys are. Is English. So let's just go for... I'm pretty sure they're not going to be immune to water or anything like that, so let's try using these permacrystals instead. I believe that's the one I want to be using. Power of wind, power of water, power of fire. Yes, I want to be using the permacrystals. And we're going to repeat this 4 times with every single person. Foam and shard, no, we want permacrystal. We do the same thing with Ringabel, go permacrystal, permacrystal, to form 4 Arctic winds. And then we'll do the same thing with a Dia. So as long as these guys are not immune to water, we should be fine. Watch, these guys are going to be immune to water, aren't they? Okay, we're fine. We're perfectly fine. I was genuinely concerned that they would be immune to water. For just some random reason. So that means it's going to take about 6 attacks for each one in order to make that happen.
Let's see. Oh, this is an account by a crystallist of high standing.
Whoa. So much flavor text. I think I just have a flavor text gasm. Alright, let's find out about the Great Plague then.
This is what the author wrote about the Great Plague.
A terrible plague ravaging the world finally reached our shores. Already, there are those falling ill in villages to the east. To halt its spread to Orthodoxy headquarters, top officials of the faith have closed all roads and forbidden the influx of people and goods. controversy arose when a young cleric appealed to his superiors to use the power of the Earth Crystal for purification and medical treatment. But the proposal had no hope of approval, as we hold the crystal as secret. The hierarchy ignored it. The purging of refugees for seeking to thwart the blockade was a scene from hell. The purged believers were hailed as martyrs.
Terrible. How could they be so cruel?
By saying we had no other choice, no doubt. But to have a way to battle the plague and not use it, they simply forsook them.
Alright. The plot thickens. We're learning things. The cleric departs.
The end of the plague. The date is much later than the past entries.
The young cleric appealed to his superiors day after day to no avail. When the Great Plague showed signs of abating, the Orthodoxy was overjoyed. Those who had advocated the blockade were showered with praise. Some days later, the young cleric was summoned before the vestal, whereupon he was mocked and reprimanded for hours on end. The plague wiped out his village of birth, save for a few who escaped, and many other villagers within the Faith's land suffered the same fate. Henceforth, the young cleric was never again seen among the ranks of the Crystal Orthodoxy. Perhaps he was shipped to a post of no consequence, or fallen away altogether.
He sounded like a hero in the making. If he had counted among the Orthodoxy's leaders, this land would have perhaps changed for the better. But then perhaps I wouldn't have been here with you today.
So it seems as much about the Orthodoxy we don't even know yet.
The end of the world.
The Orthodoxy's head temple has already fallen, and it shall not be long before my refuge, too, is discovered by the invaders. The Earth Vestal was dragged before their leader. It was the once young cleric, now a seasoned soldier, fearless and self-assured. The Vestal faced him, hurling words of contempt and scorn. But ere she should finish, an enraged member of his guard cut her down with a stroke of his long blade, and the Vestal's body fell silently to the floor. All is lost.
So that's how the Earth Vestal was slain.
What an awful tale.
With a stroke of his long blade.
That's enough for now. We best keep moving. I wonder who that person was. Alright, let's see if there's any more flavor text floating around. Alright, this shouldn't be a problem. You can go auto mode on this. I love auto mode. Totally cheesing it. Don't care. Okay, free chest. I think I'm good for Earth Charms. I don't need any more. I can just buy those. And we have a random dead end. Thank you, game. Thank you for that. Oh! Hope you guys are doing well. We're in the midst of, I guess, allergy season now. So far it hasn't been too bad. On my end, at least. But I hope, wherever you are in the world, I hope that your allergies are treating you well. You know, plants, I respect your libido, but if you could keep it out of my nose, I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, well, so much backstory!
Let's see. It says... Observations of the crystal. Submitted by... What? Victoress Court?
The energy within the crystals may be categorized by their names. Viz, fire, water, wind, and earth. The application effect of a crystal only extends to its corresponding element. For instance, the efficiency of this crystal extends to soil, land, mud, rock, and the like. It's for that reason the Orthodoxy names this the Earth Crystal. As for the method of extracting the energy it holds within...
Wow! Not that I really understand.
Yes, I'm afraid I didn't follow that either.
It seems I must look beyond what I had thought was simple desecration of the crystal.
I saw ... I'm assuming there's more.
The healing waves emanating from the crystal. This one also reads, submitted by Victoress Court.
2 kinds of waves have been observed emanating from the Earth Crystal. The waves that amplify white magic efficiency... I'm turning the auto off, it's going too fast. The waves that amplify the white magic... efficiency? That's not efficiency, is it? No, it's not. If it's... words I cannot read. Were likely used by the Orthodoxy for benediction, healing, and exorcism. The waves that amplify black magic efficacy were likely used for retribution and attacks upon enemies of the faith. The Lord Marshal ordered that only those waves that amplify white magic are to be extracted and utilized. A new technique, wherein an extraction cable is attached to the surface of the crystal without doing it harm, has greatly advanced our work.
It seems they truly wish to advance medicine.
Oh, right, Alban.
That treatment Idia's mother was receiving must have resulted from this research.
How could have such worthy efforts gone so terribly wrong?
Interim report on alchemical life research. Oh, this one reads, submitted by Vincent S. Court.
A tomb entitled Alchemic Life was found among a trove of forbidden volumes seized from the Orthodoxy. But rather than some book of the occult dealing in miracles and manifestations, it is an ancient book of medicine. It claims the crystal's white waves can stimulate an individual's cells, and the black waves can link cells between individuals.
Alchemical life? They went beyond merely saving lives?
Wait, there's more. This so-called alchemical life is unstable, and keeping the resulting subjects alive comes at great difficulty. So, it seems they propose that the research be shut down.
So then that must have been what they used on Victoria then. You know, I really have to appreciate when a game creator or a game company puts this much effort into creating like the backstory and whatnot. I like learning about things like this. I like learning about the backstory of my enemies. I like learning about the backstory of my characters. I still have an entire journal to go flip through after this. Once I'm done the game, so I can flip through, like, find out everything inside these journal and see like all these little hints that were missed the first time around. Sort of like when you watch an anime for the first time, and then you go back and you watch the opening again, and then you see like all these little subtle hints that you didn't necessarily notice with the first time. Like in Persona 4, I can't think of any other ones, maybe Gundam C, maybe. Death Note. You get to see like all the little hidden meanings behind the way they construct or construe the opening. I don't know. All I can say is I appreciate the effort. I also appreciate the, flavor text.
The Reconquest of Eternia. I wonder what it says in here. The Reconquest campaign. Troop deployments.
Our uprising was lacking everything. Troops, armaments, cultivation of informants within the Orthodoxy. But the Crystal Orthodoxy would soon put their plans in motion. The debate between our Lord Templar and the Sage continued. At the end of 3 days and 3 nights, our Lord Templar gave the order to strike. His family was to remain behind in this land. We departed before sunrise the next day. He procured weapons and ammunition in Ansheim, and then slipped secretly into Eisenberg. From northern Eisenberg, 3 fortified airships took us across the highlands, at last entering the lands of Eternia. An abridged listing of our main invasion forces follows. The valiant usurper Brave the Templar, our Lord Templar, insisted we name him as Usurper. Assault troops for the Temple of Earth They are to take the Earth Crystal and protect our Crystal Technology Squad. Swordmaster Nobutsana Kami-Izumi, Commander Hayridden Barbarossa, Lieutenant Commander Dr. Vincent Escort, Technology Squad Leader, accompanied by his 10-year-old son, serving as his assistant. Dr. Vincent Escort. Assault troops for the Orthodoxy's head temple. They are to halt all the institution's functions and seize all of its forbidden tombs and assets. Sir Argent Heinkel, Commander Fior de Rosa, Lieutenant Commander Barossa Lear, Commander in Training Eurytus Profiteer, and Dr. Kata Auditors? Occupation forces for the city of Eternia. These troops will be assigned to keeping the peace and preparing for the laying of the cables. Spellfencer Sigma Kint, Commander Einheria Venus, Officer in Training. Holly White, Medic in Training. So many names. Too many names.
Head Temple Occupation. It says this one is written by Sir Argent Heinkel, Commander.
Once the Temple of Earth fell and news of the Earth vessel's demise reached the resistance at the head temple, they quickly surrendered. The Orthodoxy soldiers and leaders were stripped of their weapons and confined to the temple. Lord Templar strictly forbade us from rampant slaughter and maltreatment of the vanquished. None have yet to disobey his order. Those sympathetic to our cause were allowed to join us, while those who refused were to be released. As for Eurytus Profiteer, the man sent to the treasure house to seize the Orthodoxy's assets, unsavory rumors about him soon began to circulate. Investigation into bribes by former Orthodoxy officials and a large-scale disappearance of artworks from the treasure house is underway. Dr. Kata, tasked with deciphering the Orthodoxy's forbidden spells, continues to meet clandestinely with his lieutenant, De Rosa. In comparison, Barossa Lear's simple enthusiasm for more fighting is almost refreshing to see.
The occupation of the city. This one says it's written by Commander Sigma Kint.
Oh, it's Kent, not Kint. I've been reading it Kint. A month has passed since our bloodless occupation of the city of Eternia, and the people are finally beginning to settle into their daily lives. Einheria, originally from the city, doggedly patrols its streets, saying I shall defend the city that is home to my master's training grounds. The occupation force is also comprised of others from this land, and perhaps that is another reason for the easing of the people's fears. A few days prior, it was announced that this land had been rechristened the Duchy of Eternia. A member of the royal bloodline that once ruled Eternia before the Crystal Orthodoxy was restored to power as Archduke. Archduke, so that would be the vampire guy. And naming himself Grand Marshal of the Eternian forces, the Lord Templar began his tireless effort to build a new system of government. When Dr. Vincent Escort proposed a great feat of engineering be resurrected in one corner of the city, it was approved at once. Great cables are to be extended from the Temple of Earth all the way to this city, but I know not their purpose. Rumor has it the cables are to be linked with buildings under construction in the medical district, also part of the doctor's proposal. The decreed constitution schedule is tight, and will surely require additional laborers from among the people and former Orthodoxy members. I spotted Meg in training Holly White being scolded by Victor, a boy of the same age, for standing around and watching the construction. Interesting stuff. Also, there's a save man. Okay, which means we have a boss battle on our hands. So I will prep my own troops for battle, and in the next episode, we will awaken the Earth Crystal. With that being said, thank you guys for putting up with my storytelling, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Laters!